Looking for good grub in Greenacres? Well, I spend $100 at every fast food restaurant so that you don't have to. This is the food review video that no one asked for, but everyone needed. Which is, listen, I like to eat. I like to eat out. I like to try out different stuff. I love good restaurants with good service, good food. But I'm at a place now where Varsity College is right opposite Greenacres Mall, right? So if I'm coming off campus and I want to grab a bite to eat, whether it's for breakfast, for lunch, bit of a brunch, whatever the case may be, because those are usually times that I'm around there, then the most convenient thing, the usual thing, is to go out and go to the different restaurants. Well, this has been an interesting journey because I've started in places that cost a bit less for a bit more, a bit more quantity over quality approach. But then there was a bit of quality quantity that I was bumping into, and I was beginning to enjoy that. Should I name and shame places? Why not? So there's a spot called Fabulous Pizza. I think a friend had put me on to that place. It gets super busy because they have a very interesting offer of it's fries. You can get like fries, which is that entire styrofoam, those larger styrofoam things. The side of that's going to be filled with chips. The other side, you can put a piece of chicken, or you can put two pieces of Russians in there for just $40, right? That's a deal. That's a decent deal because that's a decent sized meal that you can also supplement with the rest of your $100. In order to, for example, get yourself some cool drink, you can get yourself, there's a lot that you can do and that you can play with. So I took that offer up very, very often, and that was awesome for a while until it wasn't, because there was a one day when myself and a friend had gone there. We order as per usual. We eat fine. I'm in terms of them. I have no real high expectations of, service, being treated nicely, all that good stuff. I'm sure they're decent people, and they do treat you quite decently. However, on that particular day, the chicken was raw, raw, and the chips were raw as well. Literally, the only thing that was well done was the outside of the thing, just enough so that it looks like it's well prepared. But if you break into it, it was literally red raw, and the potatoes you could taste like raw potato. And so that was the last time that I ate there, naturally. But yeah, so if you don't really care about about your insides or your digestive system or anything, and you're in it, like I said, most of the time it was a decent meal, decent tasting for the price range anyway. You know what I'm saying? So you approach obviously different things in different places with different hats on. So for the hat of, oh, I'm buying this thing for $40 and it's just meant to just fill my stomach, after a heavy gym session, whatever the case, get there, have a quarter chicken, some carbs and the fries, you know. So you take it as such. Not wonderful tasting, nothing spectacular happening there, but yeah, the one day when that stuff just came out raw, that was the last time that I went there. And so from there, I've also been to this other fish spot, which is by the entrance at Greenacres, by the entrance closest to the food court. Um, yeah, that was a decent spot, really, really decent. $40, especially if you rock up there on a good day. For example, on a day when they have the Gatsby special, which is I think Wednesdays, they have, whatever different specials. If you rock up there on the right day, you are going to enjoy yourself for like $40, $50. And again, the rest of your $100 you can use to supplement, buy yourself cool drink, buy yourself whatever, right? And you can buy that there, and have yourself a nice little meal. The only kind of con there is meal sizes, I suppose. Waiting time is also iffy. Oh, by the way, with Fabulous, there's basically no, especially if you do like a chicken chips thing, there's basically no waiting time usually. If it isn't super, super busy, like literally the day of the end of the month, then you can literally, they will have the fries prepared and the chicken already prepared right in front of you. So they just grab each of it in front of you, put it in the styrofoam thing, and you have it, and that's it, which is positive, right? But then the one day it was raw, like, which me, meat eternal. You get one shot and that's it when it comes to doing it terribly to that extent. So Went to the so there's a fish spot, absolutely fantastic sauces. It tastes awesome. Waiting time's a bit tough for that one, but they do serve you fresh. It is hot. It is, like I said, great seasoning, great saucing, great flavor. But the portion size is quite small, um, especially comparatively to a fabulous pizza joint. So yeah, that's a decent spot where you can go spend your money. Again, nothing incredible, especially now if you're looking for something that's going to satiate you. That's not really the place to go, in my humble opinion. And then now let's get into the major restaurants, right? The ones that are in the thumbnail, which is your Debonair's Pizza, your McDonald's, your KFC, your Casey's. They have Steers. They have yeah, I apologize if I'm leaving anyone out. Not that that anyone's gonna see it, not that they're gonna see it, but if I did leave your restaurant out, I do apologize. Okay, there's obviously Spur upstairs as well, but Spur, you know what to expect from Spur, and 100 rand probably isn't gonna get you far at Spur. I'll go check, and then I'll come do a part two if the people receive this well. But I don't think 100 rand gets you quite far at Spur. Um, and so yeah, in terms of the food court, anyway, we did say the scope of this was specifically in the food court. But I will go check out the Spur. If you guys like this video, then like the video, hit the subscribe button, and let me know. Biggest thing you can do to let me know that you actually want a part two is to comment, I want a part two. You don't have to subscribe if you do that. You don't have to like, just do that one thing. If you enjoy the content in general, please do hit that subscribe button. If you like the video, like the video. So it depends on you, what you're into, what you do. Okay. Um, KFC is KFC. KFC is KFC. Me personally, I'm sick of KFC. I'm sick and tired of KFC. I've had too much KFC in my life. At like any time, say my parents decide that they're gonna give me a break from cooking, because I usually do the cooking. Anytime they decide they're gonna give me a break from that, then they usually just buy KFC. My mom specifically usually just buys KFC. So yeah, I'm sick of KFC, dog. But yeah, I'm sure KFC. Yeah, you can buy a streetwise something. Yeah, you can get yourself nice meals. Actually, nah. Let me not do KFC like that. You can get yourself nice meals. You can get yourself some smoothies. I remember back in the day, it was 2023, or while I was heavily bulking. Um, you could do a piece of chicken for like less than like 50 rand, but 20 something randish, I think, there around. You can smash a milkshake as well. You bring your own cooked rice. That's chicken rice, like chicken rice calories from the freaking the shake. And bro, you're under the 100 buck mark, and you're eating good. You're eating good, and you're gonna get real big, heavy, and strong. Trust me. You're also gonna put on a lot of fat, but who cares about that? So yeah, no, KFC is a really solid spot. It really is a solid spot. But in the scope of this here presentation, me personally, I am flavor fatigued of KFC. But I think if you are in someone who's interested in KFC and you want to give it a shot, then sure. I mean, service level, how quick is it gonna be? All that good stuff. Debatable, interesting. But yeah, I don't think it's going to be the fastest service you ever received in your life. And portion sizes, yeah, it really does depend on who serves you, how well you know the people, etc. And then let's move on to Casey's King Pie as well. King Pie is also on the opposite side. King Pie, yeah, yeah, not incredible portion size. You can get yourself maybe a couple of decent sized pies, say two. But yeah, it's not really going to be the most satiating thing you've ever experienced. You're not going to be the most filled that you've ever been, and this is from a gym guy, so it takes a bit, to fill me up. Yeah, it's not going to be an incredible experience for you. I didn't stay very long on there. Like I wasn't a regular customer to that extent. At any point of like any sort of pie shop, and then let's move on to Casey's. Again, not a pie guy, so I don't really go crazy about that. Um, and I think next to that is Debonair's Pizza with 100 bucks. So in the thumbnail, you can see that there's a picture where it's me and one other friend, and I think we both spent like 80 bucks each, to get ourselves on the double. and then we bought two different flavors. We halved them, so we both like two different flavors, half half. You swap the halves, so now we have a whole pizza each of two different flavors. That's fantastic. That's great. That's dope to do. You get to do it. You get to socialize while you're doing it, whatever. That's awesome. Tastes good. Satiation levels for sure, bro. You just ate a whole pizza, even though it's relatively thinner slices. And debonair, to be honest with you, for me, if you get the right pizza, you can really find that this is actually a good quality pizza. It's like the flavoring, the sauces, they've been doing their thing for a really long time, and they're a successful franchise slash restaurant for a reason, because people like what they do and they do what they do quite well. So if you're into that kind of pizza, into what they do, you're going to enjoy Debonair's pizza, even with your $100. If you can just have but a friend, then you can actually have a whole pizza for less than $100. And with the change, obviously, yeah, you can get yourself a nice little drink from like your local spa, ShopRite, Checkers, whatever the case. I wouldn't really recommend, just because I understand that most of the markup of restaurants is going to be usually beyond the beverages. The beverages cost a lot more, but then obviously you're also paying for the convenience of, now I don't have to go to spa or whatever the case. I can literally just come order here, run my errands, come back, and everything's here. So that part's up to you. But yeah, definitely Debonair's. I would not say I don't recommend Debonair's pizza. Um, yeah, waiting time, all that good stuff. I mean, it's decent. Now that's when you get to those like expected levels of like waiting time of that 15 to 20 minutes, where you can literally just fluff off, go do some window shopping, and then come back and your stuff's gonna be ready. Um, okay, other comments on debonaires is you can also do, if you have more than a friend, if you have three friends, then you can do yourself on the triple, which is not on the triple, a triple decker, on the double, triple decker. So it's two decks of three layers. That's a lot of pizza. Yeah, we did that with a couple of friends of mine. I don't remember how we split it exactly, but I think it was about $400, give or take. Um, yeah, it was about $400, give or take. And so, say mathematically, I don't think we split it exactly that way that day, but on a different day, it would have been a different guy who put in a different amount. End of the day, $400 split between four people was about $100 each. And so, yeah, that was a really enjoyable experience. You get to enjoy the socializing as well. But yeah, there is something to be said about, man, I just put down 400 and I'm getting four slices, or I just put down 100 and I'm getting four slices of actual pizza. It is three layers. It is quite satiating, I can't lie. But I think the more satiating experience is having the whole pizza, the whole pizza to yourself, and your other friend having the whole pizza to themselves. I think if you do the math on that, I don't know if you stacked those whole pizzas, those slices, and it's also like an entire slice versus a triple decker slice is obviously gonna have something on one layer, something on the another layer, then the top slice. So there's some pros and cons there, but I think I'd definitely go for the on the double two man. But again, the social aspect of just being there with three of your friends, just chopping it up, talking about whatever, great experience. Um, and yeah, but that will be like your $100 flat. So you're not going to be able to, in terms of the cons, you're not going to be able to get yourself a beverage, a milkshake, whatever the case. I like milkshakes. I don't know if you noticed that by now. So yeah, Debonair is quite good. And then second last, I'm gonna go Steers. Steers I had today. Spent literally just under $100. Uh, the two meals, it was a king steer thing, which was like $49, and then the other double cheese, whatever, double cheese barbecue, double barbecue cheese, whatever. That was terrible, to be honest with you. The burger was quite dry, the patty was dry. The sauce there wasn't really any sauce, or it wasn't saucy. It was just very thin. I don't know what was going on with that burger. I had that burger and I was like, wow, I'm never spending money at Steers again. And then I had the king steer. The sauce carried. The patty was still dry, but the sauce carried. The sauce got me back as a customer. You know what I'm saying? I was eating that sauce and I was like, you know what? Yeah, worth it. So I think if you can get yourself like two king steers, then you're also gonna get fries, very small portion of fries. But when you put the two together, then it's at least a decent portion size of fries. And yeah, that's pretty much it. You can just get a burger and the fries. That's it. So there's no like beverages involved. Um, yeah, and one thing about restaurants, stingy with the sauce. One thing, I don't know if it's me, maybe there's a look that I have where they just don't put sauce in my, but yeah, nowadays, it's not like back in the day. Back in the day, you used to get sauces, like all different sauces from all the restaurants. But I guess they cutting into the profit margins. Um, oh, and then last but definitely not least, I think McDonald's takes the cake. I think if you have $100 to spend, I think McD's is where you do it. So I'm there last week, I think it was. Again, $100. That's the budget. You can get yourself a burger. You can get yourself a beverage, and you can get yourself a large fry. So what I did was I got the double cheese. Retrospect, probably would have gone for the Big Mac, but then if you go for the Big Mac, it'll put you just over that $100 mark, maybe. Like if it's 105, 110, like maybe it'll take you over that mark. But because I remember it was only a few rand more than the double cheese. But you can get yourself a double cheese. There's definitely under 100 double cheese. I got the milkshake, like the largest milkshake they have, and it's a pretty big thing. And I got a large fry as well. Again, they were stingy with the sauce, but if they had been generous with that sauce, this would almost be like a 10-10 in terms of it's fast food, like it's trashy. You don't really wanna, like it's not super high effort, high end restaurant because they don't really have those types of restaurants around that in Greenacres Mall that I know of. If there are, let me know down in the comment section down below. Part three, I guess, or part two is gonna be that, and then I'll just feature, I'll just feature spare. Um, yeah, in terms of the sauce, if they just had the like a bit more sauce with it, man. Maybe a mini fork. I think a mini fork would go far as well in terms of being able to eat those fries. Sauce, fork, besides that, it's really satiating, especially with that giant milkshake. Now, I am biased because I do like milkshakes. I've already told you this. So the burger itself, I mean, it's a McDonald's burger. McDonald's burger, one thing about them, very standardized. I appreciate that. Like, it, exactly what you expect from McDonald's burger, exactly what I got. The fries were good. Again, a bit more sauce would have gone a long way. I actually had to ask for extra sauce. She bought me one sachet of sauce, which is crazy because I literally have a large fry and they gave me free socks. I'm like, dog, take the socks, give me sauce. These chips are dry. But yeah, no, they were decent chips. They were edible, even with the minimal sauce on them. And yeah, burger was decent. The milkshake, one thing about that milkshake, there is so much of it that you literally now you've just ate a burger, you've just ate a large fry. There's this massive thing just staring at you, and it's the type of thing where you drink through it and you're going, but halfway through you're full. You're full. It's packed densely with calories. It's everything, right? You're like, oh yeah, I've made good decisions today. You know what I'm saying? Like when you're just like properly full and you're like, yeah, no, today I've made good decisions. Then you get beyond that point and now you're like, hey, I'm fighting for my life here actually. And you pick that thing up, it's still like a quarter left. That's how big that thing is. And especially after having that entire meal. Yeah, so for me, that just does it, bro. Because at the end of the day, the point of me going out and doing this thing or going to eat or whatever the case is because I'm hungry. I'm hungry. I want to be full. That's for me. So that's why I'm not ranking this like a high end restaurant on how was the service, how were the people, what was the atmosphere. Those are more high end restaurant. We can have that conversation. That's my bag too. I like that too. But in terms of fast food, what I just want to be satiated. I want to feel like I got my money's worth, and I want to feel like So it's more down that lane of like, okay, was this actually good? Was it prepared well? Did it come quickly? like all that good stuff. What was the waiting time like? What was, like how quickly was the transition between I've done ordering, I've gotten my food, I'm sitting down eating, how is my experience eating, am I full after? And do I feel like this was money well spent in order to again scratch that itch of, oh, I'm hungry in this moment, you know? I really, really, really find it difficult to compete with that McDonald's offer. I don't know if the milkshake just gets it over the edge because it's so big. And mind you, I've had a Steers milkshake as well, and it was just so much smaller. One thing I would give them credit for, though, the consistency of the Steers milkshake is perfect, but it's a very, very small portion size. Versus the McDonald's one, it's almost too thick. Like it get all the straw, but something happens where it kind of, you have to really, really pull through that straw, in order to get it up there. So yeah, end of the day, obviously, I'm gonna go for that massive, like freaking, yeah. I want to fight for my life, bro. I paid for this. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, fast food level. Ah, the clown is king. Eh? The clown is king. Yeah, we'll see though. I think there's another McDonald's on the other side of the thing. Yeah, I don't know what other food joints are in the area, but yeah, if there are, please do let me know about it. Again, this is the food review video that no one asked for, so I don't expect anyone to watch it. But if you do watch it, I appreciate you. If you enjoy the content, please hit that subscribe button. I have been Sage, standing on business. Signing off.